Welcome back to another episode of The Embarrassing Diary. Today I have the great pleasure to have a really funny comedian. She won a Tuna Award, the April edition.
May edition. No, I think you're right.
April.
It was April. Oh.
She doesn't even know what she won. She was a semi-finalist to the English Comedy Talent Awards in the Netherlands. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the one and only Elissa.
It's actually Elissa.
Great.
Welcome to The Embarrassing Diary.
How did you start with stand-up comedy?
I always liked stand-up comedy, I think. Like when I was little, I used to watch a lot of like these sketch comedy that were on TV, but I never really thought about doing it. When I moved to the Netherlands a couple of years after that, there was a comedy class, a stand-up comedy class. Yeah, so then I took a stand-up comedy class a year and a half ago and I really liked it. So since then
When you started, you told me before, when you started doing stand-up comedy, you also started doing road cycle?
Oh, yeah, I tried it once. Yeah, that was when I was doing the course, and I tried it one time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wanted to try it out of curiosity, but then I thought, okay, maybe I can try it now, and then, like, if it works out, then then I found my new way to be fit, and if it doesn't, then it's just material.
Yeah.
And it was just material. Because, I mean, you know, like, there's this woman who is, like, the guide, and she has this headset on, and I don't know, why do they have a headset? It's so intense. And she was screaming at us, and she was like, I remember she said something like, forget about your shitty job and forget about your shitty week. And people were all like, yeah. And like, maybe I didn't have such a shitty week. Can I stop? Are we good?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
like how? Why do you assume like I have a shitty life?
Yeah, and also
like,
I just also really dislike this philosophy of like oh, you go to a job that you fucking hate, but this is how you get money and but then it's okay because then afterwards, as if it's not enough, like now you also have to work on your body because you don't want to be a mental health burden, a burden on your health insurance. So then you have to go and like listen to this woman scream at you while you're cycling your way to death.
Yeah, so you don't only have shame for having a job that you hate, now you have shame for working out and not being in shape.
They also sometimes, if you don't show up for a while, they would call you and be like, hi, we're just checking in, like, leave me alone. And I mean, they had told me before that this is part of their system and
abusing people,
but I find it so
them.
judgmental because they're like, are you busy?
Hi, we just wanted to call. Are you still fat?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like, maybe I can help you book an appointment. Like, that's not gonna solve my problems. Shut up. No, it has to be like, oh, I'm having a mental break. I lost the plot, and that's why I can't come to the gym anymore. Like, it cannot be just like, actually, I found something more fun to do. Like,
yeah. Or are you eating cake right now as we speak? And you're like, how do you know? That's how I feel.
Yeah.
That is so crazy. When did you like realize while you were doing the process, like you were like, oh, I'm actually good at it, or these jokes are landing, or this is
that's also good. Like I think, I started the class in March or so, and then I had my grad show in April. And when I did my first time, I was really like, oh wow, like it's like this works. Like you say something funny and people laugh. Like that's.
Yeah. You know, so from the first time, it worked.
Yeah, it worked the first time, but I was still like very nervous. So I think the first few months of when I started, I was just going once a month or once every 2 months to an open mic. Then I think in November I started to do it like much more often.
Actually, one of the comedians said, oh, you try new stuff. You know, some comedians try the same set for years.
And actually, I now feel like this is better. I mean, I think it's nice to come up with new ideas because it also keeps you excited sometimes. But I think it is good to try. Like the set that I worked on, like the one vegan brownie.
Oh, it's a very good joke.
It's a vegan brownie. I don't like vegan cake either. Things should be cancelled. I think the chocolate's coming. I'm feeling something. It's coming. It's coming. And the waiter came up to me and said, did you finish? Did you enjoy that? I mean, I did work on it for months and...
Yeah. What is the process of you writing?
I have a WhatsApp group with only me. because I don't have any friends.
I love myself so much that I talk to myself so much.
Yeah,
sometimes.
and then I use that to write down ideas as like if I see a red light and I think, oh, that's funny and there's a joke there, I will put it in that in that WhatsApp group.
Do you also send like motivational letters? I love you today. You did great.
I don't, but maybe I will start. So every now and then, if I want to write more, I have my notebook, and then I also have like Word documents. I have a folder where I have all my jokes, and this is where I like develop them.
Who are your favorite comedians that you really like to watch?
Recently, I've been watching Dimitri Martin. He has a few specials on Netflix. He's really funny. Who else do I like? I like Taylor Tomlinson. I think she's fun. I think I had. Oh yeah, what's her name? Michelle Wolf. Do you know?
Yeah,
she's really funny.
Oh my god,
She's the
really. Do you like Hannah Gadsby?
Yeah, I like her. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a part that she's not funny at all, and she makes a statement about her sexual abuse and about the fact that all the bullying she's been through her life, and it's in the special Nanette.
Not Babette, yeah.
Yeah, not Babette, no. So, do you feel like comedy has an impact to society, or should have an impact to society, or should it be just jokes, and that's it?
No, I think comedy could have an impact on society. I mean, especially with some comedians because you are showing, like, with your jokes, you are joking about things that are usually wrong in society, or often so it does have an impact on people, because it can make them see problems that maybe they were not aware of, or encourage them to also talk about them, or show them that they're not alone, in case of, like, especially with Hannah Gadsby, because she talks a lot about her sexual abuse experiences and how she grew up with in a homophobic
environment.
So I think that is very important. I do feel like with Hannah Gadsby's case, I mean, she had a lot of her, like, when you watch her in the specials on Netflix, a lot, like, a major, especially this Nanette special, a big part of it is, I mean, it's not really fun. It's more like she's telling her experiences, and it's not fun. Like, I mean, it's not meant to be funny, these parts. But I feel like this is more something that you would do if you had your hour. Like, so it's not like if you go to a 10-minute open mic and...
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, okay, since you're a woman, the comedy has been, at least for a long time, a male-dominated scene, and finally it's changing lately with a lot of queer comedians and a lot of female comedians. Sometimes I feel, maybe they picked me because I'm a woman, not because I'm very funny.
You mean when you're on the lineup?
On the lineup.
For some,
and then I'm like, and then you tell me, no, that's not the case. Like, it could be other reasons. It could be actually because they like you. What do you think about that? Like,
I mean, I feel like you do have more chances to be on the lineup when because usually there are still a lot more males, which means that when people are getting spots, there are a lot more applications from men than women. So, like, and if you want to have a balance, then the women are more likely gonna make the cut. But I feel like there are a lot more female comedians coming up now, and I don't necessarily think it should make you feel like, oh, I'm only here because I'm the token woman. Or, I mean, no, that's not necessarily the case. You are here because you want to do comedy.
And what about dick jokes and vagina jokes? A lot of people say this. Look, you can't be talking about vaginas because it's the same as dick jokes. It's easy. Oh, you women. Like, I hear that a lot. But I don't agree per se. Like, there are dick jokes that are funny. There are dick jokes that are not funny. The same as vagina jokes. Yeah. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the same. Like I feel like you shouldn't joke about something so much that it becomes like a trope, or just because like not anything you're gonna say about a penis or a vagina is gonna be funny.
Exactly.
I think it's also valuable because I mean, like, we grew up. I mean, now things are changing a little bit, but we grew up in societies where it wasn't taboo to talk about these things, and it is
in your periods, right?
Yeah, like the period, like, you don't talk about it. I mean, like, when you go to school, it's like you never tell anyone.
You had to sneak in. I don't know if you do it in school. Like, do you have a period pad? And you have to yes,
yeah,
this is it. And then
I don't know. I mean, it looks like drug dealing.
Yeah.
This is why I actually do like it when women talk about make period jokes and vagina jokes, because we don't talk about these things enough, and I feel like I mean, I also like, even like, I don't know, pregnancy and stuff, like there was a generation of women who were always taught to think like pregnancy is such a beautiful thing.
That thing. Yeah,
and it's the miracle. I don't know. I mean, okay, it sounds good, but like there are also a lot of symptoms that come with it, and then it also makes women who when they get pregnant and have these symptoms, then they feel alone and they feel alienated, or they feel guilty for thinking like, actually I don't really like this pregnancy, it's putting a big toll on my body. And I think talking about it also in comedy and making jokes about it is really something really cool.
And even being like as fun as a joke, like I'm angry at the baby right now, like which is ridiculous. You come here, you are, because you can't. It makes you pee all the time. You're not feeling sexy or whatever. This is a thought that I think all pregnant women have had. But if you say it out loud, nobody dares to say that I don't like my baby right now. But if you put it on stage, people, I think, will like it, because they're like, it's true.
And I mean, I also feel like when I do make jokes at an open mic or at a show where I talk about because I do have some period jokes and whatever. I think a lot of women, especially women, like really like it, and then they come afterwards and they say that they really liked my jokes, or or they found it very relatable. I think like this is also super nice, like you find other people to connect with and they have similar experiences, and it's also, we can just laugh about these things because there's also so little actual solutions for, like, I don't know, period pain or pregnancy issues. Like
I agree 100%. Do you ever feel like you're saying your personal story, they relate, but then it's also a personal story? Where do you leave the boundary of, hey, this is mine and this is yours?
I think there is a balance. I think first of all it needs to be something you're comfortable with, and if it's a topic that you feel you cannot share with the crowd, or you can only share with some friends, then it's okay. Like then you shouldn't like just wait. Or I mean, some things are just personal, and that's completely fine. But when you do feel ready to bring up a more personal conversation on stage, you could write it in a way where the focus is on the humor in the situation rather than like all the details that are just about you. That, I mean, it's fine if you share them, but then they're not necessarily funny, or people will lose a little bit what you were trying to say. So you do need to edit it just like you would edit any other joke.
Yeah. Did you ever had like a joke that you're like, oh, I really like it, but nobody likes it, and you were like, I don't want to let that go?
Yeah, I think there are jokes where people chuckle, but not, like, it's not hilarious. And then you wonder whether, like, do I want to keep it because it's cute?
But I find it so it's very interesting what you say about the chuckle, okay? Many times I'm so harsh on myself, and I'm like, they laughed, but they laughed.
Not so much.
Yeah, it was a soft laugh. And then my sister said some people were chuckling. And I'm like, we don't want the chuckle. But she said we were having a great time. And I'm like, I was like, no, it was terrible. Do you? Yeah, the chuckle. I wanted to talk with you about the chuckle.
Yeah, I don't want chuckle.
I
mean, it depends. Like, if you have a 5 minute spot, like, you want to make sure that people are like, you want to keep the laughter going. And okay, some jokes will be funnier than others, but like, I don't want to be like, oh, okay, here's my 5 minutes. It's mostly chuckling. I mean,
chuckling,
I do want to get the bigger laughs.
And sometimes
I feel like I think you can play more with that when you have a longer, like, if you do 10 minutes or more, then okay. And also because then it's also not so nice to keep have punchline after punchline, because people can get overstimulated.
Yeah, you're right.
You want to give them like, okay, let's breathe now. I wouldn't want a joke that like 40-50 seconds to tell, 60 seconds duration of a joke, and you only get one chuckle or a couple of chuckles.
Do you find the timing important? There are some comedians that they don't care, like they put very long setups and they have a punchline. Do you care about that?
It is something that I think, and well, I feel like the first time you try a joke, I don't care. Like, I just want to put the idea out there and see if people laugh. But then the more, like, as I tell the joke, I start to shorten, because then you also know more where people are laughing and where. And like, the more you tell a story, the more you kind of understand it also better where it can go, and then eventually I want to reduce the setup and
I agree with you,
or add more punchlines in the setup, so then it's
because I feel like, especially now, because we're at the beginning like of our comedy career, I feel like it's good to get confidence if you do it shorter. I feel like a more experienced comedian can do it longer and still like keep it like like the you know what I mean? Like
they feel more confident.
Yes, because we know it's Louis C.K., so it's okay if he does it
Yeah, but
longer.
that's also because Louis C.K. has 1 hour. But if
he
Louis
has an
C.K.
hour,
goes
exactly.
to an open mic where he has 5 or 10 minutes, he will probably also want to keep it short.
Yeah, you're right.
I think there's a really big difference between like what you do when you have a 5-10 minute set and like when you start doing your own show.
Whole hour, yeah. Do you feel like regarding open mics, it is always fair that some producers maybe choose the same comedians all the time?
No, I think they should have a balance because it's nice to have regulars. It's also nice, I think, for these people that they can rely on. So I think it's fine to have some regulars, but I think it's nice to also like rotate things around and always try to have new talent and support them. Yeah,
I agree. I had one recently. I was chosen in a bar that I really wanted to be. And chosen, yeah, amongst the very
chosen.
And I was like, yes, I'm gonna do great. I'm gonna prove to everyone that I deserve this. And I went there and I bombed. I don't know what happened. Like I was like, oh no, none of it was landing. Do you feel like when you have to prove yourself to some people, there's a lot of tension and you don't end up being so funny?
If you're nervous, it's gonna affect you.
Yeah.
And that doesn't help because when you are at an open mic or at a show and then you feel nervous, and then if you tell yourself you're nervous or you're not gonna do it, that makes you more nervous, so it doesn't help. But I do think that, I mean, I understand what you mean by like some places maybe if you see somebody there that you want to
impress
or work or have more spots there, then you want to do very well. But then I think in these situations it helps to just do something like do your routine. Like, don't try new stuff the first time you go there if you feel nervous, because then you know your routine is something you're confident about.
I tried my routine. That always lands, but it didn't land.
Then it was but I feel like if you have a routine that always lands and then one day it doesn't land, and then maybe like that was just
it wasn't
the bad
the day.
It wasn't the day. The audience had a bad day.
Have you ever had a memorable story that you remember that was very fun?
Memorable was like this gong show at the UICF, which was organized by Kendra, because I was very nervous. I was also a bit hungover and I had never performed for so many people. Like
how many people?
I don't know. I think maybe 200 or 100. Yeah, something like that.
But do you feel like it can really messes up with your brain, with the ego part, and you can say, oh, I have so much power in my hands. Like I can make people laugh so easily. Like how do you stay humble?
I mean, I think if you go to if you feel like you killed one night and then you have an ego boost, like that's not necessarily gonna make you.
It's gonna take you further.
Yeah, I mean, I would say enjoy the high, right? I don't know if it can get to your. I mean, maybe some people it will get to their head, but I think the fact that you think, oh wow, I'm so funny, like that's healthy, like that's a good thought, right? So, I mean, it depends what you mean by stay humble.
No, what I'm trying to say, like, I feel like especially famous comedians, they have
like they have ego and they think they're funnier than everyone else.
And then they end up not being funny on the next special. Like the last Joe Rogan special, they don't like it. A lot of people don't like it because he's a little bit. I'm friends with
I'm so famous.
I'm friends with Elon Musk. That's the joke, bro. Nobody can relate on that. It can get into your head easily, no? If you have a whole state, you have 10,000 to 30,000 people.
Yeah, but we're not like.
No.
I never thought about it.
No, but I feel that sometimes it does get, even on the level we are. Some people, I feel like sometimes they feel, oh, I win competitions, I'm amazing, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, you can also bomb. We all bomb. That's fine.
I think there's nothing wrong with feeling proud or feeling like, okay, I am fine. I mean, that's part of having confidence, like to know that there are things about you, there are qualities that you like about yourself. But I think, maybe the part that is tricky about staying humble and what you're talking about is when you start thinking that you think you're better than others, or when you start comparing yourself to others. I think that's where like this is what you should avoid.
Exactly.
And because it can also go both, like you can either say like, oh, I'm better than everyone else because of this or that, and then that can backfire, and that can also make you crippled because then you also have set the bar too high for yourself. Or you can say I'm worse than everyone else, and that's also not
also good.
So you feel threatened by others, and so you want to avoid both.
Exactly. Do you bomb as well?
I think it happened a few times. Like sometimes the audience is not good, or sometimes I also feel like it's a little bit like it's a two-way street, because if you get the first laugh and then you feel like, okay, this is working, so then you also are more energetic, and then you perform better, the audience laughs, and then it becomes synergetic. But then sometimes it's like sometimes you just don't vibe with them, and they don't
or
vibe
sometimes
with
you don't feel, you have a bad day, you didn't
yeah,
sleep
like sometimes
well.
you're tired, so I
Yeah,
also feel
tired.
like sometimes the way I talk is different,
or also the venue.
like I'm not focused.
I find the venue very important. Sometimes I have to like the venue. If I don't like, there are some venues that the lighting is very low, it makes me lethargic. And
or if the lighting is too high, I don't like too bright, because then people feel too
exposed.
Yeah, they want to feel a bit more intimate.
Do you ever have somebody coming after a show and telling you that you inspire them to do comedy, or telling you something nice about how you have impacted them? Do you have that?
Yeah, I sometimes get people after the show telling me that they really liked me, or they thought I was very funny. Like from the audience. And then I think a couple of times there were people who said, I also sometimes think about trying comedy. And then
that's nice. Yeah, that's inspiring. Yeah, I had it recently too, and I was like, oh really? Yeah. Like, that's nice. Yeah. And what's your advice? What do you give them if somebody tells you, hey, I want to try what you're doing too? How can someone start?
Yeah, I think there are many ways to start. You can take a class. I think a beginner's class is very helpful to just get you
on board
into it, and to understand it, because I also feel like a lot of people think, oh, it's so easy, you just go on the mic and you just say things and you don't have to prepare. Like, to be honest, when I first started,
me too.
When I was younger and I used to listen to stand-up comedians, I always thought that they just had, okay, I'm gonna talk about the tree, and then I'm gonna talk about, and then something funny will come up. You don't know how much effort it is.
Yes, that's so true. That's so true.
So I think this is something they need to know, and a course would help you with that. But then I also feel like some people are just comfortable enough to just go on stage, like if they don't want to take a course because it's expensive.
Too much,
I think it's also fine to just sign up for an open mic. And what I think is nice about our scene is, I think some bookers even are willing to help you.
In the previous episode, we had Nathaniel. He's a Swedish comedian. He's very funny. He talked about how laughter is our currency.
Yeah, laughter is healthy, and I think it connects people. It has a social function, and I really like it. I don't know, some people are very serious and they never laugh, and it makes me uncomfortable. Some people are just not funny, or they don't need funny in their lives, or they might laugh, but it's not necessarily a thing. And I think laughter is so important for me, or just being with people who don't take themselves too seriously, even when you're at work, or even when you're in more serious, when you're doing something serious. And and I don't know, I just like the give laughs, receive laughs.
Yeah. That reminds me of a kind of a funny story. I had a friend. I invited some friends to an open mic, and one of my friends was not laughing at all. And I saw to anything I was saying, and I'm like, what's happening, bro? Like, come on. And then I realized, he's on a diet.
Okay. Yeah, but there is always this one person. I always notice there's one person I'll say who's not, and now I know it's probably maybe they're on a diet. So.
Yeah. The poker face.
But I don't know, I always thought whenever it happened to me, and there was always this one person who's...
What? Yeah. Yes, they're like... usually they're on the front row. I don't know.
I find it weird. Yeah, they're in the front row. Yeah, and it's weird because why? Okay, if you don't want...
And everybody's laughing. It's not
because so they came with their friends, and their friends are laughing, but they're not. And then I always thought... maybe they had a breakup and they came to cheer themselves up.
Yeah, maybe.
But now it's the diet story.
Or I was thinking actually the other day about it. I was thinking everybody was laughing. Only one woman in the front row, she wasn't laughing. And then I thought, well, probably maybe what I said maybe affected her. I'm not joking. Maybe offended her. And that's okay. Because I think actually comedy is very sensitive.
Yeah.
You might be very funny, and for someone it hit a chord
they don't like the sense of humor.
Or they don't like the sense of... Or you're not funny.
No, that's not you. Also, I think some people, if you... some people might find I don't like you're too low energy. I don't like that. That's boring. I'm not.
They're not your style. You're not their style.
Not their style. That's what I mean. Or some people will think you're too intense. I don't like that. Moving on.
Because we have different styles. Yeah, she's funny and I'm not.
No, you're funny.
Oh, thank you. You heard that here? Like she said, I'm funny. Okay, now bookers can book me too. Okay.
I vouch.
I have a voucher.
I vouch for you.
I thought you have a voucher.
Yeah, if you book her, you get a free
10%.
Michelin star.
10% on your next hummus purchase. If you would ever had the chance to have a collaboration with someone, dead or alive, anything, comedian or not, like who would that be?
I like this Dimitri Martin.
Okay, this Dimitri Martin, like he's definitely sponsoring this episode today. Like I don't know what's happening. Who the fuck is this guy? Dimitri Martin, like never heard of him.
Okay, also Michelle, well, she's cool. She also has a talk show now.
She has a talk show,
she won't
like
collaborate
this one, but successful.
Yeah, it's like
You're in an island and you have to only take 2 items with you. Which items are they?
I always said a book, but now I think that's dumb because if you're gonna stay in the island for so long, then like the book will finish.
You will use it as fire, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, the very
But
first
wait,
day.
how long am I gonna
Wilson!
Okay, wait. How long am I gonna be on this island?
Oh, like 3 years.
Oh. And nobody's there?
No, it's a like the movie Castaway.
Yeah. Then I need
that
fishing
thing,
rod.
fishnet. Yeah.
Fishnet, yeah.
Or a gun. No, fishnet.
Let's keep it
Let's
clean.
keep it not. Let's keep it clean.
A fishnet and a book. You know, you gotta keep yourself
Entertained, yeah. Or you can write a book afterwards and become,
Okay, that's even better.
That's even
A
better.
notebook and a pen so I can write jokes.
Oh, mic drop! No! Oh no, that's funny. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
We're actually in your house.
Yeah.
Make sure to subscribe.
Subscribe.
And make sure to follow Elissa on her socials. I will have their socials into the description. And make sure to come and see us sometimes. It's nice to come and check on us on our open mics and let us know.
Yeah.
Give us some feedback. Yeah. And
Yeah.
see you around. Okay.
See you around. Bye.
See you next time.